Hello, Asta here and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see in the description, I will be doing a review of a foundation, and today it's going to be a foundation from Benefit, and it's their new Hello Happy Flawless Brightening Foundation. So I've used Benefit's foundations quite a few times. I have a few of them and I just thought I'm gonna give this one a go and see how it lasts on me. So I just purchased that a week ago, so I just want to do a first impressions, a review and a wear test as well. This is how the box looks like. I got myself a shade 4, which is more of like a good medium tan color. So on the box it says that it's photochromatic pigments, so it instantly adopts and brightens skin in the lightning. There's also flower acids that helps boost radiance, and there's also hyaluronic acid, which is a really moisturizing agent for your skin, and it's the Longwear 12-hour foundation. So this is what it says on the box, and now I'll show you how the bottle looks like. So this is how the bottle looks like. It's actually a glass finish, so it's nice. I love the pink cap as well. It looks very cute. I think the packaging is lovely. It's actually a proper, like, you know, heavy bottle, so it's nice. So, and it actually comes with a pump, which is always a bonus because some foundations still, I don't know why, but they don't include pumps, which is annoying. But yeah, this one has a pump, and yeah, let's just show you a swatch. So here is a swatch of this foundation. So it's actually nice and creamy and quite light reflectant as well. It looks dewy, probably because there's hyaluronic acid in it. So we'll see how it's going to sit on my skin. So I bought this foundation from Cult Beauty website, and it was around £26, which is 32 euros. And I think in Sephora it's $30. There is 30 milliliters in this bottle here, or 1 fluid ounce, and it's quite normal for the size of the foundation. So it's SPF 15. It gives a natural looking satin finish. It lasts up to 12 hours. It'll be interesting to see if it's gonna last on my combination oily skin. And then it comes in 12 shades. Well, this is not a great shade range, and from what I've seen online that they have, it's more of a medium to darker shades rather than light. So if you're very pale, I suppose it's going to be a bit hard to find a shade that suits you. So it's more of a light tan to more deeper skin tones that they cater for. So for today I will be testing this foundation, one side of my face with the Beauty Blender and the other side of my face with the brush, so that we could see the actual difference and which tool works better to apply this specific foundation. For those who don't know, I have combination oily skin. So I have normal skin, but my T-zone is very oily, so I always use my primer, and the primer I use, it's the Ordinary. I'll show you now at this one here. It's actually near the end. I actually just used so many of those already. I think it's one of the best, well, the one I found so far. So this is the primer I am using every day, and this one is Hyaderm Silicone Primer. So I only have this down to T-zone, so I always do my foundation reviews using this because I know it works with some other foundations, and I just want to compare how these new foundations are actually working together with this primer. So I know if it's gonna last, it's gonna last. If it's not, it means it's just a foundation isn't great for me and it's not the primer. Let's shake the bottle and see how it's going to apply with the sponge. So I'm first gonna do the sponge side of the Beauty Blender. So I'm taking some product to the back of my hand and I'm using my sponge. This one is from Kitco, and I'm gonna apply that on this side of the face. Also, we'll see if this situation can be covered up with the medium coverage. Interesting to see. I've used up this pump, and as you can see, it gave me a very light coverage. It's still pretty much a very natural light finish to the skin, I suppose because the sponge absorbs majority of this product. It does feel lovely on the skin, and I can't really feel anything, obviously, because it's super light. As I can see already, it's oxidizing a little bit on me. So I'm gonna take another little pump of this product and I'm gonna apply that on my forehead. So as you can see, the application with the Beauty Blender or the sponge gave me super light, very sheer finish to the skin. And I suppose it's nice if you want something very light for every day, or if you have amazing skin and you just want to even out your skin tone or something, this probably would be great. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try and build this coverage up. So I'm gonna take a few more pumps and I'm still gonna use the same beauty sponge, and I'm going to see if it's actually buildable with the sponge. So this is a second layer on using a sponge, and I don't know if you can see in the camera, but you can definitely build it up, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's medium coverage. It's still quite light. It's maybe very light medium coverage. Yeah, so, and it's quite tacky, so we'll see if it's gonna dry down or not. Okay, so in meanwhile, on the other side, I'm going to do the same, but using my kabuki brush, and I'm just gonna take a pump and let's just see how the brush works. Okay, so I have this side of the face applied with the brush, and you know what, it's actually, I can say that it's the same. It gave me the same coverage. It's still very light, very like sheer finish. The only thing is, using the brush I can see more texture to my skin. It's not as like seamless and smooth as it was with this side when I've used my Beauty Blender. So I'm just gonna apply and do the same thing as I did on the other side. So I'm just gonna apply another layer of this product and we'll see if we can build it up using a brush. So then another layer is on with the brush, using the brush, and I think you can build up the coverage better with the brush. Like, it's tiny bit more covered than this side when I've used the sponge. So again, the same problem. I think that the texture of the skin is not as nice as on this side. It's not as even, maybe because the bristles of the brush is kind of like disturbing the product or something. I do prefer, I think, this side because it's more smoother and I can really see like texture of this foundation on the side of the face. As you can see, this little guy here isn't covered really well. I wouldn't say this foundation is a medium coverage at all. Like, maybe you can build it up, but then I think there might be a chance of it looking a bit cakey. And another thing, straight away I can see that this color oxidized so bad. It does feel amazing on skin. It feels very moisturized. I can't really feel anything, although it's very tacky, and this side, which I applied a while ago, it's still very sticky. So I think it's wise thing to do is to set it with maybe translucent powder, or if you very dry skin, maybe it should be better. But for say normal skin, and if you don't want to get it transferred onto your clothing or phone, like literally I just barely touched it and it actually appeared on my fingers here. So it's quite dewy and it's not drying down. The finish of this foundation, I think, is like a luminous, but at the same time it gives you this mattifying effect, which is not flash because it's such a dewy finish. I can see already it's gathering into my fine line, the smile lines here, and my forehead as well, like into my lines here. So I think I would definitely need to set it with powder. Also, I still have to cover this thing up so it didn't cover any spots. So if you have that problematic skin and you have acne and stuff, I don't think this would be an ideal foundation unless you use loads of concealer to conceal first. I'm gonna just go and do the rest of my face off camera, and I'm just gonna check in with you again and show you the finished results, and I'll tell you more about how it worked with other products. So I'll see you in a bit. So I'm back and I have my full face on, and now this foundation been sitting on my face for a good few hours because I was doing another few videos in the meanwhile. So first of all, I had to set the whole foundation in place using loose setting powder. I've used RCMA translucent powder to set the full face, and then once the face was set, the other products went in lovely. So even though I did set it with powder, after 2 hours only, I can already see, I don't know if you can see it, it gathered all in my fine lines here on my forehead. Like, this is probably the first time any foundation would do that to me, and it kind of sits here and in my smile lines, although I did set it with powder, and of course here as well beside the lip. It's just, it seems like it's still moving, so it's not sitting in place when it's set. So I don't know, maybe because I'm more on the oilier side, if you're more maybe drier, it would move as much. But yeah, I'm not totally impressed. The reason is that it's only 2 hours past and it's already not in a perfect condition, and I love my foundation to last, because if I work long hours, I need this longevity of a foundation. And as much as it feels lightweight on the skin, it's definitely not a long wear foundation for me. I'm gonna wear this foundation for the rest of my day. I have things to do, and I will be back later in the evening after a good maybe 6-7 hours, just to show you how it sits on my face. I'm not going to do any touch-ups or nothing, just for you to see how it actually looks, because I do have foundations that are amazing, not being touched up throughout the day, and they last pretty well. So yeah, we'll see how this is gonna go, and I'll talk to you later on tonight. So hello, I'm back again, and it's nearly 7 hours later that I'm doing this video. It's evening time, I had my long day gone, and this is how my face looks like. So I must say that it oxidized so much. So I'm just gonna show you a little swatch on the back of my hand. And so this is the swatch on the hand, and look at the face, it's literally like 2 shades darker now. And I suppose when my natural oils came through, it got so much darker. So it definitely oxidizes about 2 shades, I must say. Yeah, so I think this shade is even too dark for me at the moment. I will have to mix it in. But overall, you can see how it looks like. It got super shiny around the nose and my forehead and on my chin. It nearly like breaks apart. Oh, it doesn't look great. It sits in my fine lines. I didn't expect much of it, because after 2 hours already, when I was wearing it, it was already not looking good. So I'm not, you know, surprised it's looking that way. So this foundation definitely is moving around so much, even though it is set, and it's very, you know, still kind of tacky. So there's loads of tackiness going on. I don't know whether it's because I have very oily T-zone this happened, or it has tendency to do that. But as you can see, oh, it's not, I'll show you closer. So as you can see, it's not looking great. Like, around my nose, it starts to separate. On my forehead, it sits in my fine lines, and just down here where I have the blemish, everything just seems like it's gonna slide down. So yeah, it's definitely not working on my skin. I think it's better off just to go with the one light layer of it, and not to try and build coverage, because it moves so much. Overall, it's a lovely foundation. It's nice packaging, it's nice idea behind it, and there's hyaluronic acid and all these goodies in this thing, but unfortunately it isn't for me. I hope it's been helpful, and I hope you learned something. And if you tried it, let me know what do you think, how it works on your skin, because, you know, I'm only saying my own opinion because I have oily skin. But if you are someone who has normal or dry skin and you've tried it, let me know how it works. It's always interesting to know how these foundations perform on different skin types. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next week. Bye.